Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling with might, the golden octagon. The stage we ignite. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling might, the golden octagon. The stage we ignite.
And what is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Golden Octagon. My name is Matt, for those of you who don't know. And if you are new to UFC cards here in 2024, my goal is to come here and help you guys out just a little bit. My goal of tonight's stream is to help anyone new that's in the community that's, pretty much lost along the way. I do understand it is a lot to take hold of. There are a lot of little ins and outs to this hobby, if you will. So, with that being said, tonight I'm gonna just run over basically my two beginners guides to UFC cards collecting in just one live stream, and hope that I can help everyone out. So, with that being said, I'm gonna run over the really quickly the history of UFC cards. And then that's going to lead into the years and sets. We are going to talk about where to buy UFC cards, that's going to lead into I think four different subjects. So where to buy, going to take a little bit. We are going to talk about hobby products versus retail products. We are going to talk about what you are looking for when you do open these UFC cards. We are going to talk about protecting your cards, how to store them, or how I personally store them, how I see other people store them. We are going to talk about finding the value, also known as how much your card is worth. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And then I'm going to talk about selling your UFC cards, where you sell them at, or if you decide to, where you can grade them at as well. And then also what fighters to buy. I get that question quite a bit. So that's going to kind of end us out on the last subject that I really have. And then we'll lead into some Q&A. So anything that I don't cover that you guys have, feel free to drop that in the chat while I'm live here tonight, and I will go back and try to cover all of those that I didn't cover while I'm live here. So with that being said, let me shout out the chat real quick. There are a few of you guys in here. We got Lush Love What's going on, Lush? Appreciate you stopping by tonight, my guy. Class is in session. I appreciate you stopping by tonight, Lush. We got David. I'm not going to try your last name because I will ruin it. Looking forward to the stream. I got into UFC cards this year. Can you give me a shout out to Jose and Julio in Europe? What's up, Jose and Julio? Hope you guys are doing well. Anyway, we got Dave. Fish for Dave's bring back Panini. And I see a lot of people saying it, Dave. You're not the only one, man. And we got Michael Adam. What's going on, Michael? Appreciate you stopping by tonight, my guy. So with that being said, you guys, thanks you guys for stopping by here tonight. If you would be so kind, hit that thumbs up button, whether you're live here right now or you're watching this back. I would greatly appreciate it. So we'll start off with the history of UFC cards. So sit back, relax, and let's learn something about UFC cards. So with that being said, how it worked basically was Topps started making UFC cards back in 2009, and they had the license to make UFC cards all the way up until 2020. These sets included, Topps Chrome, Finest, Knockout, Museum Collection. That should say main event, but it says men event. So main event. They also did some Chronicles and a whole bunch of other ones that, I can't think of off the top of my head. But, they had the license for 11 years. They could have tons of UFC products. With that being said, Panini then took over the license in 2021. I know a lot of people weren't a fan of when this happened. Everyone's like, man, I miss Tops. But 2021 to 2023, Panini had the license. And in during that time, they did drop Prism, they dropped Select, Donruss, Chronicles, Optic Donruss, also known as just Optic. They did drop Immaculate, and on their app, they would do Panini Instants, as well as, the app exclusives like the Sparkle packs, things like that, that you could only get via the app or being some kind of Panini group, something like that. Not a lot of not cool things, in my opinion, from Panini. And then the news came out, I think it was mid 2023 or 2022, that Fanatics had acquired Topps. So Fanatics basically purchases the Topps company, and tries to revitalize it. As you basically see what they're doing now with, basketball and football. What they're doing isn't officially licensed products, but you know they're they're still having their hands in this sports market, if you will. So, with that being said, Tops slash Fanatics gets the license back in 2024, and so far this year we have had Tops Chrome, we have had Tops Midnight. We do know that Tops Knockout is coming next. We also know that on the Tops website, so after every pay-per-view, a few days after, maybe like the Tuesday after, I believe you can get the Tops Now on the Tops website, and it'll be like fighters from this past weekend that just fought. So that's basically how that works. With that being said, there is one other UFC card manufacturer, but it's not a licensed UFC card manufacturer. And I get a few questions about this being Leaf UFC card products. You will find Leaf, and I think maybe even like Upper Deck in like the good ones. You will have fighters and autographs, but they are not licensed UFC cards. So an athlete, fighter, sport player, whatever he plays, can be on a card as long as the UFC logo or the team logo or the NBA logo, NFL logo isn't on the card. So that's how you'll see companies get around putting out cards that are licensed, that not licensed. They are autographed by the athlete, but not licensed by the NFL, NBA, UFC. They'll take off all the logos, patches, things like that. So Leaf has cards as well for UFC fighters, but not licensed UFC products. So that's why I didn't really throw it in there, because it's not really UFC cards. It does have MMA fighters in there though. But that's a quick little history lesson, just basically about where UFC cards came from over the years, where it started from, and where it's at now. So years and sets, I just covered that as well. But yeah, I don't know if I want to lead into years and sets like this. Let me see what I have here. Years and sets. Okay, yeah. So I'm glad I had this here. So years and sets. So keep in mind that throughout every single year, as you see like on the little page here, like for the sets, just under Prism, under Panini, you see Prism, like you see Select, you see Donruss, Chronicle, so on and so forth. Under like Fanatics Tops, you see Chrome. This really doesn't apply to Midnight, and we don't know Knockout so far. But keep in mind that every one of those sets will have different products for the sets. Not every single one, but Prism, Chrome, both sets had the hobby version. They had this in between hobby version that was like half hobby, half retail, and then you will have the blaster version of it as well. And I'll get into hobby versus retail later on into the stream tonight. But keep in mind that every one of those sets is going to have multiple products under that set. A few of them don't, such as like Midnight. like immaculate museum collection, things like that. It's only just the one hobby variation. However, most products will have a hobby and a retail version to just appeal to both markets. The actual collectors, fans that are going into the hobby shops, and just the people that are in their local Walmarts, Targets, things like that. But once again, I'll talk about retail versus hobby later on in the stream today. So with that being said, we are going to jump into where to buy. So as I said, this is going to be broken into 4 different sections with singles, pre-order, sealed products, and then breaks. And honestly, the way I have this listed is how I personally think you should be buying these cards if you are looking to buy said cards. So, like, first of all, you should be looking for singles. Then, when cards are going to be coming out, you should try to get them right from the manufacturer via pre-order, and then after that, go purchase the box yourself from your local card shop, online, things like that. And then lastly, breaks, but that is at last cost. Don't be joining breaks unless you have to, in my opinion. But we'll start off with where to buy. So with that being said, we're going to start off excuse me. Um, yeah, we're gonna start off with singles. Where to buy singles? I'm always gonna say this. Check out your local card shop, and if you don't know how to find your local card shop, it's very easy to do. Your LCS, as it's also called, will be your most friendly person because you can build that relationship. You can go trade in the cards that you don't want. They might have some cards that you do want. You can trade in your cards for store credit and get some sealed. There's plenty of things that I'm going to recommend you do at your local card shop. So if you don't know how to find your local card shop, just bear with me for just a second. What you're going to do is you're just going to go to Google and you're going to type sports card shop near me. And yeah, you'll see near my location there are one, two. Well, I wasn't trying to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 near me. The only one that I go to that I know that has UFC cards is this top one here. Shout out Heroes Sports Cards for having UFC cards. But yeah, I promise you guys, Google will be your best friend here if you don't have any idea where to start off at. Just Google sports card shop near me, and you might be surprised. I've just told a few people that, and they're like, I had no idea Blowout Cards was 20 minutes away from me. And that's basically where I order a lot of my cards from, just because I get next day shipping here on the East Coast. So yeah, check out your local card shop. That is number one. Up next, I will say, is card shows. A lot of deals can be had at card shows. So this is where you're going to have to find your like your Instagram hashtag. My personal one is 757 card show. You could possibly try typing in like your area code and then card show hashtag, whatever your area code is, card show, and see if anything pops up. For me, it personally does. Card shows is a good place. There's a lot more UFC card collectors out there now. I'm beginning to see in videos. I'm personally not out there because I don't have time for it. I'm seeing a lot of more UFC card collectors pop up at these card shows, and that's fantastic for the market. So card shows, number 2, check out your Facebook groups. There's plenty of UFC card group specifics, but also just check out sports card groups in your area. I'm sure there will be quite a few there. So keep that in mind. So singles, LCS, card shows, and then up next you will have eBay. eBay is good, and it kills me at the same time, because you'll have people that want the best deal on earth, but you click their page and they don't have the best deals on earth on their page either. So basically, eBay is people wanting the best deal possible, and they're going to try to haggle you to death, and then they're going to try to basically resell that exact same card for what you were selling it for, or even more. So eBay is hit or miss. You might find some deals sometimes here and there. Just browse, look for what you're looking for. But eBay singles is a good place. Keep in mind that eBay's got your back. If you buy a card and you don't get it, and you reach out to eBay, you'll probably get refunded. Yeah, like, there's only a few things here or there that I would only see the reason why you're not going to get like refunded. But also, don't be a scamming asshole. This community isn't big at all. If you're out there trying to scam people, then you don't belong here. Then you don't deserve. Man, I hit my camera. Then you don't deserve to get whatever card that you are trying to scam someone out of. So, with that being said, this is a small community. Please just help each other out. We just need to build this good community. We're going to grow. Our cards are going to be more valuable, and it's going to go from there. I promise you guys. But eBay is a good place if I guess the bullshit can just stop just a little bit, because I see so much bullshit on eBay, and it happens to me all the time. Like, a person will buy a card, not pay for it yet, send the cancellation request, said, "Hey, I found this $2 cheaper," and then not pay for the card. It's like, I get it. You found the cheaper one, but don't buy a card. Say, "Hey, I'm going to buy this," and then never pay for it. Like, if you're going to buy a card, buy the card. If you're trying to make a deal with them first, send them an offer first. Don't buy the card and then go look for a cheaper one, because in my opinion, if you do that to me, I'm going to block you, and you're not ever going to get a card from me. So if you've ever done that to me personally, you've been blocked, and you can't buy anything from me from this point on. So eBay singles, good place, but at the same time, just be wary out there, because there's a lot of people trying to, I, I don't know, just get over on you for the most part. I'm not saying sell fake cards, because I don't think there's any money in selling fake UFC cards. There's not that much money in UFC cards to begin with. I don't think there's any fakes out there yet. Yeah, I'm sure at some point, once we get in these six-figure cards, eventually, I'm sure there'll start being some fakes pop up. So after eBay, there is Whatnot. I don't get on Whatnot too much, but I do know people do sell singles on Whatnot. So yeah, keep that in mind. And then lastly, for singles, we have the Tops Now site. So I think I have the Tops Now site pulled up, or the top site pulled up. Yeah. So when we share this tab, let me see if I don't know if I want to be sharing that. Yeah. So the last place will be tops.com, and this is where you can find your Tops Now cards. So they are currently sold out, because the last pay-per-view has been just a little bit, but as you see, 3-card bundle, these cards. So there are other places you can get Tops Now cards, and they'll also do like these like the sealed, like the relic packs, where you'll get the card inside, but you don't know if it's going to be a used matte relic or an autograph. It could be like numbered, all of that. I personally haven't ever purchased one of these, but I'm sure it would be worth it to some of you that would like to gamble on the Tops Now patch autos. So if you guys are interested in those, just keep an eye out on the Tops website after the UFC pay-per-views. So that is another place that you can buy singles. So get another sip, and we'll move on to the next one, which is pre-order. So for Um, let's see. At singles, I guess I don't have pre-order. Oh yeah, I have. Oh, no wonder I have pre-order above singles on my notes, but I put it here because you should be buying singles first. Anyway, pre-order is up next, and there are a couple places to pre-order UFC cards if you are looking to pre-order UFC cards. So the first place, as I said a little bit earlier, is the Topps website. So there's currently none for pre-order right now. However, when they are available for pre-order, it'll just be on the Topps homepage. It'll probably be somewhere right up here. Or if not, if you just search UFC cards, if you just search for UFC, is it gonna work for me? If you search for UFC, it'll probably pop up here when you do have the chance to pre-order them. But there is one other place because I think if you don't pre-order it within 2 days, then Topps shuts it down and you can't pre-order it from the Topps website anymore. But um, yeah, I guess I should show you guys this. So, but yeah. So another place to pre-order UFC cards from. I really don't want to shout out any of these companies because none of them sponsor me or anything like that. So please excuse me for trying to weed my way around this. I'm not trying to gatekeep anything from you guys because you could easily just Google it and figure out where I'm talking about. So if you just want to just Google, well, UFC sports cards for sale, uh, and just scroll down a little bit, you'll see like a whole bunch of options here. And any of these first options are all places that I've bought UFC cards from. I've bought UFC cards from. I continue to buy UFC cards from Blowout. I have continue to buy UFC cards from Steel City. There's eBay there. Let's see what else. I've continue to buy from Dave Adams or DA Card World, Midwest Sports Cards. And if any of you guys are listening, feel free to hit me up. I wouldn't mind some sort of a sponsorship. But yeah, that's basically as far down as I go. Midwest, Dave Adams, Steel City, Blowout Cards. Basically, one of those are where else you're going to like if I refer to you to reputable online sports cards shops, that is one of the ones that I am talking about. So with that being said, another place you can order UFC or pre-order UFC cards from are these online reputable sports card shops. So this one right here, obviously, they have other UFC cards currently for sale right now, and way cheaper than what Topps Midnight came out at. But yeah, thankfully they have something up right here that is, I guess, fighting related. 2024 Bruce Lee keepsake. This is not UFC cards here, but I'm glad that it shows me this because it shows you what the pre-order looks like on this site when one does pop up. So basically in the next month or so, we'll see UFC Knockout here, and you'll see two different options. You'll see a hobby box version, and then you'll see a case version. A case is probably going to be 12 hobby boxes or something like that, and you can just click on it, and it'll just let you know like the release date. And Blowout's really good about getting it to you like on release date, so they'll ship it before the release date, so it gets to you on the release date. That's personally one of the reasons why I like to order from them. A few other places don't ship until the release date, and then you don't get it until after. Yeah, yada yada yada. you know how it goes from there. So pre-order Tops.com or these online reputable sports cards dealers. I've already talked about singles, and now let's talk about sealed product. So I do have to kind of split this up into two separate variations here when it comes to sealed product and where to buy sealed product. This is where we're going to get split into retail versus hobby, but that's going to be the very next section. So where to find retail cards, retail being your blasters, hanger packs, mega boxes, maybe. You're going to find those at Walmart's, Target's, Myers, Barnes and Nobles, Best Buys, things like that, where you shop for retail goods, where you can find groceries, toys, all that sort of things. And then on the other hand, there is the hobby variation, which you can only find at a local card shop. As I showed you guys, Google sports card shop near me. Go there and see if they have any hobby UFC products. And, I will show you guys like the difference of those in just one moment. So once again, retail, you'll be able to find Walmart's, Target's, Best Buys, GameStops, those types of stores, as where hobby, local card shop, hobby shop, or once again, you can go online to your reputable online sports cards dealers, and they will have both there. They'll have blasters and hobby boxes. You can probably buy cases of each one, and they'll have everything in between there. So, yeah. And then, well, that was, I should have been typing sealed there. That all of what I just said was for sealed. And then lastly, your last option, and probably the worst option, is breaks. If you don't know what a break is when you pay a little bit of money, not the full price, when you pay a little bit of money for a certain weight class or fighter, and then the person opens up the box and you get those cards from said box. And it sounds like a good deal. And sometimes they are. If you can find a weight class break, random weight class break, all fighters start at $1, pick your fighter. Not the worst in the world, but I really try to stay away from breaks in general because you end up losing a lot of money, because by the time you buy into 3 or 4 breaks and you get a bunch of cards of fighters that you don't want, you kind of wish you would have just bought a box yourself. And if you didn't get any cards you didn't want, at least you got to open it yourself and experience the whole thing, as to watching through your phone or computer screen, someone else do it for you. But the way it's kind of tending to is these bigger cards seem to always end up in these breakers' hands. And, maybe it's just because they open so much product, or maybe it's just set up that way. But where you can buy into a break, if that's your only option, or you really, really want to, Whatnot, it's an app. If you guys don't have any clue about that, feel free to do your research on Whatnot. I'm not going to go into it right now. Let's see, breaks, Whatnot. eBay will also run breaks. And the only reason why I know that is because I keep getting this damn notification pops up on my phone. I don't know how to enter them. I'm sure you bid on the breaks. I've ran an eBay break and then broadcasted it on eBay before, but I don't know what eBay's doing now with their breaks. But I know you can enter a few breaks on eBay as well. And I know people run breaks on their Instagram. Once again, I'm on Instagram and I see a little thing pop up at the top. People are running breaks there. So I think you might have to do like PayPal or like Cash App. Please be careful out there, y'all, because once again, what happens if you don't get your card from one of these breakers? Like, they can say that they sent it, and then at the end of the day, you don't have your card. You don't have your card, and what happened It's not in your pack with the rest of your cards. So just be careful, y'all. Please be careful. Nothing beats getting a box of cards yourself and opening it up and seeing what you get. I understand the thrill of getting cards for cheap that you couldn't afford elsewhere. I've done it. I've gotten great cards that I couldn't. Uh, um, how do I say this? I've gotten cards from a break, fantastic cards, worth way more than what I paid for the spot in, out of a box that I couldn't afford. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but keep in mind that you have to get lucky and you can get carried away with breaks. It is truly gambling, you guys. So please be careful if you are out there entering breaks. Yeah, so Instagram and then YouTube sold through websites. I've also seen companies do this. I know Steel City does this through their break room, or they might actually be running it through eBay now as well. They used to auction off spots on their eBay and then run it on their YouTube, or possibly even their actual like their website. But once again, if you're out there entering breaks, just please be careful. Don't get carried away, because it can get to be a lot. So let's get in to this retail versus hobby. This is what I think a lot of people have the biggest misunderstanding with. This is a hard part for a lot of people to grasp and understand why they're not getting good cards, or if they don't spend X amount of money, then they're not going to get any good cards. This is a hard part of the hobby for a lot of people to understand, and it just has to be said. So we got retail versus hobby, and you'll notice I've got a few examples here. You've probably been walking through your local Walmart, Target, things like that, and you've seen boxes, about this size. They they aren't very big. They're probably up near like the register. They just look. They all fit in your hand, and they all look the same. You'll see basketball, football. You'll see whatever. These are retail cards. These are called blaster boxes. These are anywhere from $20 to $35, depending on the sport where you're at, things like that. These are retail cards, retail blaster boxes. You'll also see hanger packs. Obviously, I don't have a hanger pack right here, but it describes itself. It's a pack of cards that goes on one of the little pegs, a hanger. It hangs there on the peg. Yeah. So you'll see that. And then some places I've seen mega boxes. I don't have any mega boxes here right now, but they're like $60. Where on the other hand, hobby boxes, they're all going to be, I should probably let you know this. These are all going to be like 6 packs, 4 cards a pack, 6 cards a pack, something like that. So a total of like 20, 30 cards, not really too much. And please keep in mind that you can always read what you can get right here on the side of the box. So keep in mind that if a person's like talking about these blasters are great, you can get some fantastic things out of these, you can find all that information right here on the side of the box. So just keep that in mind. And like, what's going to constitute one of these blasters being a good blaster or not a good blaster is the side basically saying, can you get a gold out of 10, a 1 of 1? Can you get autographs? Can you get a chase card out of here? All of that will constitute whether the blaster is a good blaster worth buying or not. So once again, all of things about this big, you're going to find these at your Walmarts, Targets, things like that. As where your hobby variations, these are all things that you're going to have to find at your local hobby shop, card shop, or online at your at the online reputable sports cards You know, I said it earlier. They're going to be like this size, like not always, but you know, this size, and you'll see this has 20 packs, 4 cards per pack, so way more cards than in a blaster box. This one's got 12 packs, 5 cards per pack. This is a select hobby box. This is a Prism hobby box. This one was 12 packs, 12 cards per pack. We've got museum collection hobby box here. You guys should have seen me looking for all this stuff. This is just 1 pack inside. No blaster version of this hobby variation. So if you wanted these, you ain't going to find them at your Targets, Walmarts, nothing like that. You had to either buy this online or at your card shop. Now, oh, I forgot. We got Midnight here too. From Tops just now came out once again online or at your local card shop only. You could not find this at your Walmart, Target, things like that. But the biggest difference in these two products is the price. And a lot of people, they cut it off right there. Once they see how much the hobby product is, they're like, I'm done. I cannot afford it. And this will lead back into why you would enter a break. So yeah, the price usually for a hobby box is over $200. I haven't seen a hobby box be under $200 in a long time. So it is a big price difference going from, you know, $30 to $300. It's 10 times the amount, and it's a lot for a lot of people to get over, you know, for cardboard. You know, it's just not worth it. And at the end of the day, I understand it. You have to be a special kind of person to spend your money on this shiny cardboard with pictures on it of fighters that you like to watch. So yeah, it has to be your thing for you to get into it, to justify spending all the money on it to open it. Yeah, you know, so it's not for everyone. So just keep that in mind, that the price difference is a big jump here between hobby and the retail. But the reason that the price is like that is, once again, I would tell you guys, look on the side of the box of the blasters. Is it a good blaster or not a good blaster? Can you get anything good or not? That's not the case with hobby. Every time that you buy hobby, you're going to get autographs. You're going to get number cards. And I'm going to show you guys what all of this kind of looks like, you know, as we continue on in the stream. But, you know, it's... you're not guaranteed to get something great in a hobby box, but you're guaranteed to get something in a hobby box. Autograph, 2 autographs, 4, 5 number cards, also known as parallels for those of you that, you know, don't know. Yeah, so it's a lot, but it's for a reason. And not only that, most companies will put hobby exclusive case hits, chases. Case hit would be like, you know, 12 hobby boxes in one case, and there'll be 1 card in that 12 boxes somewhere. That'll be your case hit. So it'll only be like in the hobby variation, or, you know, so on, so forth. So that's basically the 2 main biggest differences in hobby retail. 1 is the price, and 2 is what cards you're looking to get out of said product. Now, don't get me wrong. If it's a good blaster, a good retail product, you read the side, you can get golds, 1-of-1s, autographs. It may be just worth your $30, but keep in mind the chances of you getting a very good card out of that blaster are way, way, way less than getting a very good card out of a hobby product. Because in theory, how this would work is a blaster at most might have a number card and if you're super lucky, an autograph. Them both in this one blaster, as where a hobby box will have, what does this say? Find one autograph on average. This one I think came with two, and then I think you got like 20 parallels, so like one per pack, and that was guaranteed in that box. So you were just getting way more stuff, and for you to get the same amount of stuff out of this, you would have to buy, like 10 of these, and it's at that point, it's just not worth it because you could get way cooler stuff out of the hobby box. So it's a lot, it's a price difference, but it's for a reason and it's worth it. And if you have to enter a break to be able to afford hobby products, I get it. That's the whole point that breaks exist. What I don't like is breakers charging people way too much money for single fighters, and then they open the box and then they get no fighters and you're skunked. So that's what I don't like. So if you're out there entering breaks, please try to do yourself a favor and enter a weight class break. So no matter what, you'll be getting some cards. May not be the best cards, but at least you're getting something at the end of the day. If you're out there entering pick your fighter breaks, y'all, you are brave. You are brave because 4, 5, 6 boxes can be opened and you don't even get one base card. And I'll talk about base cards, parallels later on in the stream, right? Probably up next. So just keep in mind that there is a lot different things that you can get in the product. So before I start talking about what to look for and I'm showing you guys a whole bunch of stuff, I see you guys, there's a lot of people in the stream comments, so I would like to try to catch up with you guys, but I haven't been here. I haven't been back in here in just a little bit. So give me just a moment and I'll try to catch up on the stream. All right. Um bum, bum, bum. We've got Michael saying buying cards. Michael's hooked. We got don't forget select H2. Yeah. Any word on when Knockout is coming out yet? I do not know yet. Ramon, we got Dave saying I need a PSA sports deal to keep my stacks growing. I feel you, Dave. Chad letting us know what he got. Black rookie card from H2 Select yesterday. You're for sure trolling. I'm not trying to be in here. I'm just trying to help people out right now, man. Yeah, we got Dave dropping the $5 donation September membership. Don't care if you don't want to. I appreciate the donation, Dave. Shavkat, is he serious? Did he actually get? Because I felt like he was trolling. Let's pull his comment up here. I pulled a Shavkat Black rookie card from Select H2 yesterday. Second hobby box I opened in my life. Is he a good fighter to get? It says 1 of 1 on the back. I haven't seen that before. This is why I just thought he was trolling. In that case, yeah, man, you got a 1 of 1. If that's true, then congratulations, and you got 1 of 1 Shavkat Rachmanov, which is a fantastic hit. Yeah. So if it's true, then congrats. If you're trolling, then not right now. Not right now. Oh yeah, he's for sure trolling. He's trolling for sure. Yeah, he's trolling. All right. uh, all right. I'm just gonna scroll through these, see if there's anyone if there's anything you guys have to say real quick before I jump into, just showing you guys what everything looks like. We got people saying they never open packs, they only trade and get singles. That's probably smart. Oh goodness. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna feed into him. I don't know if he's trolling or if he's serious. So, yeah. With that being said, we're gonna type. I mean, we're not gonna type. We're gonna jump into what to look for. So, I'm gonna minimize myself, and I got some cards out here, and yeah, figured I would show you guys pretty much what what to look for. So, basically, most of you guys are going to tear into your UFC cards. You're going to open up the pack, and it's probably going to look, something like this. It's going to be when you hear like a person like refer to a card as a base card, it's just a base card. There's nothing special about it. Base card, Chuck Liddell, base card Volkanovski, base card Yan Xiaonan, base card Hamzat Chimaev. And you might be like, hey, that one looks a little bit different. Let me set that one out. Hey, that one looks a little bit different too. Let me set that one out. A lot of people, my girlfriend's bad at this. She'll scroll. She'll just go right past this like it's not even there. This this is your refractor or a parallel card. See how it's got the little silver tint to it? Yeah, also known as a silver from Panini. But yeah, so that's a hit right there. Just base cards, base cards, base cards going on. These little cards that are different in there, they don't have any sort of little shine to them like this one does. These are these are called inserts. So if you hear someone like refer to your cards as inserts, feel free to know that's what those are talking about. So pretty much most things that's not a base card probably going to get sleeved up. So this Ode Osborne will get sleeved up because it's a silver rookie. That's a good card. Ode Osborne isn't the best fighter in the world, but silver rookie, you never really know. I'm sure someone's a fan of him. So that's basically what your pack's going to look like when you open it up in the inside. But you know, uh, the cards, as you see, there's not that much difference in between the base and the silver. There's a little bit of difference there, but if you don't see that shine, if you're not opening cards in the light, you might not see it. So let's just go over the different things that you're looking for. And I just have, Topps Chrome as an example here because I feel like that's what most people are probably opening right now. So we've got a base, Pedro Munoz, just a sideways card. Once again, just base, and then we're gonna go kind of gonna level up along the way. So we got a base card, we've got a silver card or refractor. That's what that looks like. Refractor. And then we've got the sepia refractor. This comes out of the blasters. We have the X-fractor. That comes out of the mega boxes. So there'll be these exclusives for your hobby, your mega, and your blaster boxes. So that's your X-fractor. And then you have two that came out of hobby. It's like a purple and a maroon. So these are all just non-numbered parallels or refractors. So yeah, these are all different variations that you can get of this base card that's a refractor but not a numbered refractor. But once again, the numbered like refractors will, they'll also be a whole different color, but you'll have a number stamped in the card, as you see here. Gilbert Burns, 54 of 99. You'll see Mavsar Evloev, this 282 of 299, stamped right there. So not only can you get, tons of colors that aren't like the number cards, there's colors that go all the way down, and they go all the way down to the one of one. One of one for this is the um I believe it's gold vinyl. So it's like little bitty gold circles all over it. So, and it would say 1 of 1, or maybe it would be on the back, but probably right there on the front, just like the rest of them. So that's what the horizontal cards look like for 2024 Chrome. I think I got some vertical cards here as well. Yeah, some vertical cards here. So that's the base vertical, base refractor. We've got the or the prism refractor, sepia. We got a purple here and just a couple number cards here. We've got 99 out of 99 Miles Johns. It's right down there at the bottom. And Song Yadong, you see 89 out of 150. A lot of people, when I first started, they were thinking that this was the number that they were looking for. On the back, it's like 179. I got a number card, and no, that's just the number of the card in the set. Every single card is going to have a number on there somewhere, but what you're looking for is a stamped number with, it'll be gold or silver in there as far as the writing. So it'll be stamped on there if you get a numbered parallel. So that's what your vertical ones look like. Let me set those there. And what do I have here? Just some. All right. So as I showed you earlier, your inserts, they do look a little bit different than your base cards. So your inserts from Chrome, a couple of them like that, but that's not all of them. You got, they can look. There's different sets of your inserts. Like for example, this is your this is your throwback. I think the 54 throwback tops insert. I could be wrong. It could be the 55. This is the AKA. Yeah, this is the AKA insert. This is the fired up insert. This is the embedded insert. Path Blazers insert. Allen and Ginter insert. Brick by brick insert. And then you got the tail of the tape insert. But, inserts, just like the other cards, they can have parallel versions as well. So this is a refractor tail of the tape for Kamaru Usman, and these can be numbered as well. So probably the best hit I've got from Chrome altogether. But this Jared Cannonier, this one is out of 5. You can see it right up here in the corner. 2 of 5 for Jared Cannonier. So that's one of the other things about the inserts. They can be base cards, they can be refractors, or they can even be number cards as well. So keep your eye out on every single card. It could be a number card in your pack. You never really know. So we'll set that right up there, and we'll move on to the next. See what I have. Yeah, what else you want to look for? Obviously, what else you want to look for is your autographs, number cards, things like that, patches. So obviously, if the card's thick and it's got like a little patch in the inside, keep that, put it in top loaders, sleeve it, things like that. Got another patch card here. Autograph cards. We got a Juliana Pena. I get this question a lot. So if I send you this link, I'm sorry that it took me to almost an hour in the stream to mention it. But I get a lot of people ask me if the autographs are printed on there or if they're actual autographs. So I'm going to set the record straight right now. On the autographed UFC cards, they are autographs. There are 2 different variations that you'll get these. You'll get the fighters autograph these little stickers that are put on here. So a fighter will autograph every single sticker in a full sheet. They'll have like 200 autographs on one little sheet, and Topps will peel off each one and put it on the card. And that's what all of these are. And then the other option, you don't see it from too many sets, but you'll have on-card autographs. And in that case, the Topps / Panini, whichever one, will or would have sent the card to the fighter themselves, and the fighter actually wrote their autograph on the card and then sent it back. So there is no printed autographs on this that you are looking for. So that's another thing that you are looking for. So that's the number cards and the parallels, autographs and patches. Um, what else do I have here? What to look for? Um, yeah, I think this stack of cards I have is next. All right, cool. So we got that out of the way. There's there. And we will talk about protecting your cards. Let me get all of this out of the way for the time being. Where can I put this? I'll put there for now. And then I'll talk about top loaders, sleeves, things like that. So you'll basically see pretty much everyone that opens cards, putting their card in this thing, and then one of these what are called top loaders. So sorry, Parker Porter, this is the best condition that you're going to be in your entire lifetime. Yeah, but so sleeves and top loaders, these are what you get to protect your cards. And for UFC cards, most sports cards in general, what you are looking for is just standard size sleeves. You're not really looking for any specific size, unless I will talk to you guys about that in just one moment. But standard size sleeves will fit all of your chrome, all of your prism, all of your Donruss, all of your optic. It'll fit most cards. The only time that it don't, you are going to look for thick sleeves. I personally use these because I know these work. It says greater than 130 point sleeves, and it says 100 thick sleeves. So these are a little bit thicker than obviously these. And the way you can tell that is if you put them side by side here. You got, I don't know, just a little bit extra room that it gives you. I use my thick sleeves for a lot of patch cards, like the relic cards with like the mat in it. Some of the autograph cards will like require you to have like the thick sleeves as well. And some full sets will require you to have the full will like require you to have like the thick sleeves, because it'll be like a certain set and all of the cards in there are just thick card, like Topps Midnight. This required thick sleeves, and so just like the sleeves, this is the regular size sleeve. This is going to fit in the regular size top loader. When you need to use a thick sleeve, you're going to have to. This is where it gets tricky and it gets fun, because you end up wasting money buying things you don't need. But you get this little collection of top loaders that you never wanted, but occasionally you'll use every now and then. So I get this question like, hey, what top loaders do I buy for this product? And to be honest, it kind of helps to just have a plethora of them around, to be honest, because at some point there's going to be new cards that come out that are going to use that size top loader. So right here, I have 180 point. You see it right there on the front. I have 180 point. I have 138 point here. What is this? I have 100 point. And I have 59 point. I believe maybe like the 59 point will still use the regular sleeves still, but anything 100 point and above, you will use your thick sleeves for. So that's how you protect said said cards once you open them. And why would you want to protect the cards? Why? Why? Let me just show you two different kinds of cards. I'm sorry, Parker Porter, and I'm sorry, Matt Schnell. Danger, you're called. So this is basically two kind of cards that you are going to encounter when opening UFC cards. You'll encounter a plastic type of card. Like you can't tear it. You can't tear this if you wanted to. Like you can't. That's one type of card. The Parker Porter, the plastic type of card. And then you will encounter your what I like to call a paper card. You know, Donruss, a lot of Chronicles cards. Yeah, cards like this. And it's just so easy. It's just so easy to tear. So why would you want to protect your cards? Well, in this case, cards like paper cards, you know, if you just the smallest little ding here or there, it just messes up the corner so much, and you can never get that card back. You like it just won't happen. As where these tend to be a little bit more durable, they can stand up to a lot more. They tend to get like scratched really easy on the front. So if you're trying to, you know, maybe get a card graded, you know, you're going to want to protect your cards. So if you ever do want to get them graded, you can get a good grade. Needless to say, neither one of these could ever get graded. And, you know, I love to treat Parker Porter terrible here on the channel. So I wasn't able to destroy it. So maybe, yeah, see, you have to cut it to actually like destroy one of these. This is going to be like your prism. Obviously, this is your chrome. Yeah, these are going to be like your plastic cards, and you know, Donruss, Chronicles. There's one more. What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? Wrong one. What am I forgetting? What? Prism, Donruss. Yeah, a few. Oh, yeah. The older tops had a few paper cards too. Yeah. So when you just hear like when you hear me or anyone else like refer to as paper cards, cards like this that can be torn, as where the plastic type of cards, you know, you're not going to tear that. It's a little bit more harder to damage. So that's why you would want to protect your cards so you don't damage them. Because if you ever, you know, if you ever do want to sell them or, you know, grade them, like you want them to be in the best shape possible. We were all that kid that back in the day that had some Pokemon cards that, you know, wrapped the rubber band around them and just treated them like, you know, they were a deck of playing cards because that's how we treated them. And we just look back and like, man, if I would have just known just even just a little bit, I would have, you know, I would have made different choices. So moving on from protecting your cards, well, actually there's one more option there too. There's sleeves and top loaders, and then this is the only magnetic that I will use because let's see if it's in here. Well, it'll usually say it on there. The Pro Mold top loaders will oh, wrong one. That's why. Wrong one, you guys. There we go. This is the only magnetic I will use because it it holds a trading card with a penny sleeve in it. So I see a lot of people put their cards in just one of these, no penny sleeve at all, and it kind of hurts because the inside of here can scratch your card, but you are able to use a penny sleeve with the pro mold top loaders, and actually it might have one in there for you as well. But you'll see 35 point with a penny sleeve, and the, as I just now had out here as well, this right here will hold the 130 point with a penny sleeve. That's for your thicker patch cards, things like that. I do have both options in case I need to put either one of those in a magnetic. So how do you store your cards? Me personally, or let me, or I don't want to. I wish I would have got it down, but I don't have it down. Me personally, I store my cards. It depends. Two separate ways. My base cards and cards that I just have, I have in a binder, and I'm gonna have to get up and show you guys. Give me just 1 second. All right, this is the best that we can do. This wasn't in the plans. All right. So, how do you store your cards? How do you store your cards? Let's talk about it. I can show you guys now. So, my base cards. What I do with my base cards is, as you'll see, got one of these trusty books here, and these are all base cards. So it says 2021 Chronicles, and man, as you'll see, I've got the entire base set. They are all just base cards. Nothing is parallel number or anything like that. But if I'm gonna buy the cards, looks like I'm kind of missing a few here or there, and it does happen. There's always that one or two, the few elusive cards that you're missing for the sets. But this is what I do with my base cards. I get one of these little binders, and I sit down and I try to make the entire set. And if I get extras or this or that, then I'll get what's called a shoebox. I've showed it before. It's basically a giant white cardboard box. I have one down there, but it's got a lot of stuff on top of it. It just basically looks like a shoebox, or you can just get just a regular box. But this one, just a giant white box. It's got like little slots inside, big enough to fit some of your sports cards. I'll take all my extras there. I will put them in like these like team bags where I'll get 20 at a time. I'll organize it however I want to organize it. Or, man, should have full screen myself. I'll get one of these like team bags with all my extras. I'll, whether I sleeve them, top load them. It depends if it's a star, if it's a rookie, whatever it is, or if it's just a base card. I'll get a team bag. I'll put them all down in there, and I have this shoebox that has like slots in the inside of it, and I'll take all my extra base cards, put them in team bags, and I'll have 4 or 5 white shoe boxes just filled with just filled with base cards. Yeah, and I don't really know what to do with them. I'm eventually sure I'll give them away or I'll donate them, something like that. But once again, I try to make a base set, and with the extra cards, I put them in a shoebox. And this last few months ago when I went to Atlantic City, it was a perfect opportunity to give away a whole bunch of UFC cards that I had, because I know I was going to run into a whole bunch of people there that were there for UFC fights. So, hey, why not try to introduce them to UFC cards as well? I don't want the extra base cards, but they might think they're cool. They might not know there are any cards at all. So me just happening to give them just a few cards may introduce them to the world of cards. So that's just what all I'm trying to do. If you ever see me out there and I happen to give you some UFC cards, hopefully I get you interested in the UFC hobby. So once again, try to make the base set is goal number one with the base cards. And then what I'll do with a whole bunch of my other cards, I think my non-numbered, this is my non-numbered parallel. So let me make myself small again. And then for my non-numbered parallels, so in 2021, it was just silver and just the retail. But 2022, you have the hyper and the red wave and all that good jazz. But so all of my silver prisms I put in a zippable thing like this. So I've got a bunch of 2021 prism in this zippable thing here. We got some blaster stuff there. Okay, so this is 2022. This is the hyper prisms. One thing that you will notice here is no one is a rookie or anything like that, because I do have my rookies elsewhere. They are a little bit better protected. And I'll show you guys that right now. Once again, silver prisms, 2022 prism. And it looks like I haven't put 2023 prism in here, but looks like I do need to. So I'm just hitting my camera everywhere at this point. So let me zip this up and show you my last form of storage. Or what, this is going to have to be full. I'm going to have to show you guys. I'm not going to be able to fit this down here. My last form of storage is this. You guys have probably seen this before. I've pulled this bad boy out. This is what you can get on Amazon, called a 12 by 12 scrapbook. So it looks like a regular binder, but it's a perfect square. It's 12 inches by 12 inches, 12 by 12 scrapbook. So inside, you'll see I have my cards, but my cards are actually, you can see, let me get it out of here. My cards are actually top loaded as well. So they are top loaded, sleeved and top loaded inside of this binder. And the pages are 4x4 photo pages. And you can get both this binder and the pages. You can get that all on Amazon. And in here, I have all of my rookies and my stars. And it looks like I have my extra, like my numbered cards from 2021 Prism in here as well. So, in my other binder, just silvers, hypers, not numbered parallels of basically just regular fighters, not rookies, not stars. And inside of here, I'll have sleeved and top loaded all of my rookies, stars, and all of my numbered parallels in one of these. And if it's not in that, then I will show you my last place that I will have UFC cards. It'll be in a box something like this right here. It'll have like a zipper on it, and this is where I keep cards that I consider to be my personal collection, if you will. So, cards that I don't ever want to sell, cards that I want to keep forever for the most part. So it'll just be a little case, something like this. I have to show you guys. There we go. Just it is all meant to hold graded PSA cards, but I just have my cards inside of my top loaders in there. Um, and once again, that can be found on Amazon, as well as this little case right here. This is well. I got this on Amazon as well. It's just a little card case. You can just type, card box holder on Amazon, and as you see, it just holds just a whole bunch of cards. Everything I have in here is all sleeved, top loaded, things like that. Once again, just cards that I have in my personal collection. I'll show you guys that one day. It's a lot to go through. I don't know if you guys have the patience for it. And lastly, the last kind of case is basically what's called like a pelican case, and it's gonna hold basically all of my graded cards. Let me zoom out just a little bit for you guys. I'm gonna hold all of my graded cards, things like that. Yeah, got all of my graded cards in here, all of my big stuff in here. I have a few things out, but this will close down, like so. It like locks down in place. You can put locks on it, things like that. Yeah, and I got that on Amazon as well for probably around $30, around $30 for everything. So yeah, that's how I store my cards. So one more time, I try to build the base set, um and once I do, I put it in like one of those little, try to make the base set, put it one of these in a binder. Why? I don't know. It's just something that I do. I'm a weirdo. And then with my non-numbered, not really valuable parallels that aren't of like rookies, stars, things like that, I'll get one of these like a little bit, kind of like a little bit nicer binder. It's a little bit more like rigid. It has a zipper on the side. I'll put all the silvers and everything in that, and then with all of the good shit, as I like to say, I will either, well, every single time I will sleeve and top load it, and then I'll either put it in the good binder, if you will, or it'll go in one of my card box personal collection boxes. So that's how I store UFC cards. Um so yeah, what else do we got here? Got those two storage. So let's move on to finding out how much your card is worth. This should be fun. A lot of people ask me this. This is by far my most asked question. It's just a picture of a card sent in my DMs and says, "Hey, what's this worth?" And it's not fun, you guys. Do you think I want to look how much your card's worth? I don't. I don't want to look up how much your card is worth. I'm going to show you guys how to find out how much your card is worth. So, yeah, if you're new, yeah, take notes, you guys. This is very, very important. So, what we are going to do, um, say you have, say you have pulled a gold Dustin Poirier, right? Dustin Poirier out of 10, right? You're like, holy smokes, this has got to be a big card. Got to be worth quite a bit, right? So let me share my screen. Let me get set up here for this because It's not going to look like this when you guys see it. All right, share this tab. Let's see if we are sharing. I can't be here because I need to show you guys that tab over there. All right, so I am sharing now. So say that you have pulled yourself a gold Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier out of 10. You're like, wow, how much is this worth? It's got to be worth a lot because it's a gold card of a big fighter. So, at least $100, right? At least that's what I would think. But your immediate reaction is to jump to Facebook, jump to Reddit, jump to wherever that you have access to people that have knowledge about UFC cards, and you just say, what's this card's worth? And I promise you, no one wants to go through there and look just to find out. It's not their card. Truly, they don't care. They don't care. Unless you're going to sell it to them for way cheaper than what it's actually worth, then it doesn't matter. So if you're posting up your card, asking people, hey, I want to sell this card. What's it worth? They're going to lowball you because you don't know what you have. So I'm going to show you guys how to find the value of your card right now. There's only one way. One way. Every way else, it don't matter. Someone can give you whatever number they want. Unless they buy that card, then you don't know. So the only way to try to find out what your card's worth without actually selling it is this right here. Let's get into it. So, well, did it again. So we are over here on eBay. Well, I guess we're not. We are here on eBay, and as you can see, I have typed up here in the top Dustin Poirier gold out of 10. That's what you just now pulled, right? You are stoked that you got this Dustin Poirier gold out of 10. So these are the cards currently for sale on eBay. Dustin Poirier gold out of 10. But say that yours doesn't look like any of these. Although that is a fantastic reference point, there is somewhere else to look for these as well. So keep in mind that if you don't ever find your exact card, but you do have a Dustin Poirier out of 10, there are other Dustin Poiriers out of 10 that have probably sold, maybe not from the exact same year or exact same set, but just be reasonable. Like there's other cards out there, so keep that in mind. But say you're looking for a specific one just to see if it's there. What you're going to do on eBay here, and you can do this on your phone or on your computer. Either way, on your phone, just go into your like your filter settings, and then you're going to scroll down. Keep going. You're going to click completed, and you're going to click sold. You're going to make sure that both of these are checked. Well, you're going to make sure completed and sold are both checked. And then you're going to check again. Say like, hey, here it is. There's someone here. My exact card sold. For $300 with a line through it. What does that mean? We'll talk about that in just one moment. But as you'll see here, if you actually go to the sold and completed section on eBay, you'll see a lot more cards and what they actually sold for, not just what they're for sale for currently. You'll see what they actually sold for. So As you'll see here, 2022 Prism Dustin Poirier Gold Flashback, a beautiful card in my opinion. Very desired card. The Prism Flashback Golds, they look fantastic. Sold for almost $300, 293 US dollars. On the other hand, you have from the same year Chronicles National Treasure out of 10 sold for $50. So there is a market for a certain type of cards. You know, people like the way certain cards look a whole lot more than other um certain cards. So keep that in mind if you're trying to compare your card to another card. Just keep in mind, is it a desirable card? Is it from a set that people really enjoy opening, being, Prism Select, things like that? As were Chronicles, people's not really willing to pay a whole bunch for the gold out of 10 there. But back to what I was saying. Say that this was the card that you're looking for, this gold autograph right here. And you have it and you want to know how much you can sell it for. All that you can find out is that it was for sale for $300, but a best offer was accepted. There's a place where you can go to figure out what that best price accepted was, and that place is 130point.com. So that is where we are currently at, 130point.com, and we are going to go to search eBay sales right there in the top left, and hopefully it'll load for us. And I need to get off this site as quick as possible because this site makes my MacBook really loud, and I don't know why. So what we are going to do is just type Dustin Poirier gold out of 10. I don't know how long I've been muted, so that should be fun. So, yeah. What was that? Yeah, 2 minutes ago. All right, cool. So I do apologize. You 3 minutes. All right, cool, cool. So not too bad. So so basically what I was said is like say when you just go to sell a card and you have I forgot what I was saying. Finding okay, all right, yeah. So when it comes to finding the say you pulled the one of one, guess what? You have the right to set how much that card's value is. But when it comes to like select, sorry if you saw me do that. When it comes to like select, where there's different levels inside of the set, there are multiple one of ones, and there are, in theory, better one of ones than other one of ones. So it sounds crazy that there are multiple one of ones, but there are, and some are better than other ones. So if a one of one has already sold for a certain price and you also pull another one of one, yes, you have the you have the right to ask whatever you want for your one of one. It's the only one. But if a certain card, if a certain, if the better one of one has already sold for that product, you're not going to get the same price or more than what the better product sold for. So keep that in mind that even though you might have a one of one, you can ask whatever you want for it. Keep in mind that um, if a one of one of a fighter has sold from a better product or a better one of one from the same product, we kind of already know what the value is. So you can't really ask too much with because no one's going to buy it if you're actually trying to sell said card. So values are out there. You just have to look for them. That's all. That's all. I believe that's what I said. I think when I exited off of 130 point, that's when I lost my voice. So it's probably. uh, I do. I apologize to you guys for when I was muted there just a little bit. So one more time, check on eBay, sold, completed, things like that. If you can't find it, 130point.com. That'll give you the exact sale price. So you can even skip eBay completely if you want and just go right to 130 point, type what you're looking for in there, and check the sold listings for how much stuff has sold for. And remember, if you get a one of one, you can sell it for whatever price you want. You have the only one. No one can tell you you can't sell it for that. No one can tell you you can't sell any card for whatever you want to sell it for. It's your card. But keep in mind that there are limits to what a person is going to pay, and there are reasons to why a person will only pay a certain amount. So if a person reaches out to you with, hey, I would like to buy this card, but I only want to pay this much, and here's why. I've had it happened to me multiple times now. I have two Israel Adesanyas that this one guy has reached out to me about a few times now, and I'm just not willing to sell it. I'm just not. So for my price, I know he's not willing to pay that. So for me, I'll just hold on to them for the time being. So one of ones, you can set whatever price you want, but keep in mind that if you actually want to sell said cards, it has to be a reasonable price, fair price compared to other one of ones that have sold from the same fighter. Um, go. see what's next. Let's go for selling UFC cards. So yeah, just like I just now told you guys with the finding, I like the value. You can also sell cards on eBay, and just like I just now found the value, you just list your card on eBay. People will either bid on it or send offers on it, and yeah, you can sell your card like that. So finding the value, selling. Another place you can sell your cards are Facebook groups. This is one thing that I do not have a lot of experience in. Facebook groups, Reddit groups, Instagram. People buy and sell on these platforms often, but I hear a lot on these platforms that people get scammed, or they'll pay and they don't get their card, or a person that paid got sent a card that wasn't as described as blah blah blah, and the person gets blocked, and they get kicked from the group and everything like that. When you work on eBay, you don't really have to deal with that, because you buy a card on eBay, it's not what it said it was. You file an eBay case, you send the card back, and you get your money back, and end of story. You don't have to worry about getting scammed, kind of, for the most part. Just once again, if this community can just stay together, not scam each other, our community will continue to grow and just get better and better. So yeah, so singles. I mean, what am I doing? So selling, eBay, Facebook groups, Reddit groups, card shows as well. One of these days, I have to make a card show. But please do me a favor, you guys. If you find yourself in these Facebook groups, Reddit groups, things like that, do not post a picture of your card and ask how much this is worth. Don't do it, you guys. Like, that's the reason why I've left all the groups that I'm in, because it's just flooded with a picture of a card saying, "Hey, how much is this worth?" And it's like, dude, it's so easy to just go look. You're putting, by the time that you made that post, you could have already just looked. So just now showed you guys how to find out how much your card is worth. Please stop putting a picture of your card on Reddit or on your Facebook groups, or send a picture to me on Instagram and asking how much is this worth. We've showed you how. Go get after it. You got it. You can do it. I promise. Yeah, and what else do I have written here? Yeah. So underselling, I also have this sport is not for making money. If you are buying UFC cards to make money, you are going to get disappointed and very fast, because the market just is not there for UFC cards. As you'll see, other sports cards, basketball, football and football right now have bounties for cards going around for $1 million for if a person can find a card. Think about that. $1 million if you can pull a sports card. That's just not a thing in UFC. I think we recently had a sale for $30,000 for one card, and that's like the biggest sale ever. Maybe $50,000. That's probably the biggest sale ever. So we're not even close to the other sports right now. So keep in mind that this is a small community. It's a new-ish hobby. Hasn't been around that long. So if we want this hobby to grow and gain value, one, we have to stick together, and we all have to band together as a group and stop selling our cards for pennies on the dollar, y'all. We got to. You can just look on eBay sold, and you'll see how many paralleled UFC cards of legit fighters that selling for 83 cents, $2, $4. Like, no big name NFL player is selling for that. It's all hundreds of dollars, every single one of them, always. And I'm not saying our card prices should be like that, but when the retail price is the same as the other sports and the cards that we're getting out of it just doesn't even close to compare. If you were to sell every card out of that box for the offer that you got for it, you would get like 1/10 back of what you paid for that box. So us as UFC fans, as UFC collectors, if you're buying and selling cards, stop lowballing people. And if you're selling cards, even if it's an offer, don't don't sell the card for less than what you know that card is worth, because what we're running into now is people buying a box of cards, opening it up, listing all the cards on eBay immediately, and then they'll just take whatever they get. So in turn, they spend $200 on a box of cards. They get $40 back from all the cards that they sold, and then people use those sold prices as comps, as like, hey, this card sold for $3. Why is yours listed for $5? Like, it's this game that it's the part that turns me off to this hobby so much. It's like, hey man, I'm just trying to sell this card. I mean, if you don't want to pay the $2 more for it, then I guess I'll just hold on to it, dude. It's not worth. You guys have to think, it's the time that it takes to list photos, type a description, post it up. If it sells, then you have, your sleeve, your top loader, your bubble mailer, your wrap, your shipping to them, your tape, it all adds up. So them just trying to nickel and dime you here and there, it just don't. Just say no. Stick to your prices. Now, if you're trying to sell, cards that are way overpriced, then you're just not going to sell cards. That's just what it is. So, if everyone would competitively price their cards accordingly to the fighter's value, I just feel like we could grow. But right now, people are just putting their cards at auction and they're ending for 83 cents. It's like, this isn't going to help the market at all. So if this market is ever going to increase, us as UFC fans, collectors, sellers, buyers, we have to be willing to pay what the seller is asking. And as a seller, you have to stop accepting these crazy low offers, because if you don't, then our card value is just going to be dog shit forever. It's just what it's going to be. You're going to have one or two cards that are going to be worth really high, and the rest of the cards all time are just going to be worth absolutely nothing, and you're going to get skunked 9 out of 10 boxes you open every single time, because your cards aren't going to be worth anything, because people are just trying to flip shit right away. Us as UFC fans and collectors, we have to stick together. Please, you guys, stop selling your UFC cards for pennies. Don't do it. If you have it listed for $5, don't take less than $5 for it, or don't take less than $4 for it. When you get an offer for $2, decline the offer. But I don't know. Maybe that's just my point of view. I just wish the hobby value would grow, because I just see it like it almost makes you not want to open a box, because you know that when you open that box, you're just going to lose money. You're not going to get anything close to the amount of money that you would spend opening a box, unless you are just super fucking lucky, and it just doesn't usually happen like that. That's just what it is. So if we want the value to increase, we have to stop selling our cards for so cheap. It just is what it is. Yeah, so if you don't want to sell your cards, there's always the option of grading, and I do have a video on this whole process. So let's see if I can share my screen real quick. We're not going to watch the video or like that, but I do have the video here. Um, yeah, it's this top one here. It's called "Submitting 20 UFC Cards for PSA Grading." Looks like that right there. And just as the title says, I sent 20 UFC cards in for grading. So if you want to see how the whole process works, feel free to check out that um, um, exact video. But I run through just basically going through some cards, showing you guys the cards that I'm going to send off for said grading. I get one of these like little glasses cloths, little cotton ball thing like that. You don't have to use anything in specific, just soft enough but tough enough to get fingerprints off of your card, because that's your whole goal is getting your fingerprints or any type of dust or goo off the card before you send it in to get graded. But then you're gonna obviously, just like anything else, you're gonna put it in a little penny sleeve, and instead of a regular top loader, you're going to use what's called a semi-rigid or a card saver top loader. It kind of looks the same, but it's a little bit more flexible. So you just basically make some space in there. This one is too small for any kind of UFC cards. This is for like Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that. But yeah, then you would just slide it down in there. And I see like a lot of people use a little pull tabs, and they'll like attach it to their sleeve, so like it makes it easier to pull out. But then they'll just send it to PSA to get graded. I show you guys the whole process. We're on the PSA site. I type all of them in there. I pay for it. I actually left my credit card information on that video. One of you guys reached out to me and said, "Hey, your card information's on there," so I had to cancel that card and get a whole new card after that video came out. Yada yada yada. Yeah, so I show you guys the whole process from picking the cards, cleaning the cards, doing the PSA label, packaging it up, sending it off, getting the box back, opening it up, and I did the live reveal on the like on the video. So if you guys want to know how to grade cards, feel free to check out my PSA grading video. But PSA isn't the only place that you can grade cards. It's the only place that I have personally graded cards with. But PSA, SGC, Beckett, maybe HGA or yeah, I think HGA still grades cards. I personally like them because they were like sideways, but I never actually sent cards off. I've only actually sent cards to PSA to get graded. Yeah, so that is that's what I have for grading. So the last thing that I have that I have planned is this question that I get kind of often is, what fighters do I buy, or what cards do I buy? You're aware that ripping boxes isn't the best idea in the world. But you don't really know what to buy. You don't really know. You know you want some UFC cards, but you don't know how to start collecting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you two little situations here, kind of. So, yeah, from 2021 Prism, I'll show you what I did, because oh wow, that's why. I wonder what happened there. Is it not plugged up anymore? I don't know. Well, let's see. There we go. All right. So, when 2021 Prism came out, obviously I wanted the cards, but I couldn't afford a whole bunch of hobby boxes. And this is where, if you join in, breaks for like multiple boxes, and it's a really cheap fire, like it's a fire that's only like $1 or $2. If it gets skunked at the end of the day, you only spent $2, so it is what it is. So one of the ways that I collected, or one of the ways that I bought fighters in 2021, was trying to collect the full rainbow set of of, um, of said fighter. So when you'll hear a lot of people like refer to their a fighter in their collection as like I have a full I have a full I have a full like rainbow of a certain fighter. You like, what the hell is that? What they're are referring to is they basically have every parallel for said fighter. So obviously, one of your base cards just looks like this Juliana Pena here. Nothing really special, but I have a rainbow for Gooder Gunny Nelson here. So 2021 Prism. We got the silver here. We got the red out of 275. We have the purple out of 149 there. We have the lime green out of 75. The teal out of 49. We got the pink pulsar out of 42. And the coolest one from all of them is the out of 8, the octagon prism for Gunnar Nelson, 4 of 8. And yeah, that's as close as I got to collecting the full rainbow for Gunnar Nelson. So that's one of the ways that I like to collect. Is, say you can't afford a whole bunch of the product, but you have a fighter that you like, but it's not really a popular fighter. You can pick up a lot of cards for unpopular fighters, especially right now, really cheap, because as I said, people are basically just selling their cards for pennies on the dollar. So one way that I like to collect and buy is in rainbows, sets, things like that. So I like to have a fighter, and I like to try to get all the colors of said fighter that I would like to eventually complete. I think I've given up on the Gooder Gunny Nelson, so I'm not trying that anymore. Kind of done. And the other way that what you're looking for fighters to buy, is obviously the star rookies in the set. So this year it is Diego Lopez. He is the hot rookie this year, and personally, I was only lucky enough to get, I think, maybe 2 base cards, and then this purple from Hobby was the best card that I got from Chrome. So what fighters do you buy? The chase rookies. The chase rookies is who you're looking for. Your stars, your chase rookies, your legends, your goats, things like that. But in this set, the big chase rookie was Diego Lopez, and that's the best one that I got. Yeah, not numbered, just a purple rookie chrome. But it's not all bad news, because just because you're chasing a fighter from a certain set doesn't mean that he's not going to come out in the next set, because this right here is my 2 biggest hits from this year. And yeah, what fighters to buy? Here we go. Yeah, chase rookies right here. I was lucky enough to pull both of these from different midnight boxes. We got the 5 of 12 on the autograph rookie, and then we have the 10 of 12 on just the base rookie. So
Once again, what fighters do you buy? Really, anyone that you personally want to collect, or if you just want to not go wrong. Chase rookies in the set are always going to be hot, but you could get burned because they could lose. Or legends, goats, things like that. So yeah, this year my fighter to buy or to try to pull was Diego Lopez, and he will continue to be for the rest of the remainder of the year. But keep in mind that, as I said at the beginning of the stream, that we will have more sets that come out throughout the year. So although this is like Diego's rookie class, who else could get a card this year that is really a hot prospect? Are they going to leave Peyton Talbot for next year, or are they going to bring him out later this year? We'll have to wait and see, because that is also going to be another hot prospect if you guys didn't know. So what else do I have written down here? That is what fighters to buy. Wow, I got something in my eye. I don't know. Terrible. I don't know. Hopefully I got it out. But yeah, my last thing that I have under like the what fighters to buy is this is all kind of personal preference. What you're asking me or anyone else that you ask this question to is you're asking us to determine what a fighter's career is going to play out like, and truly we don't know. At the end of the day, it's a fist fight and anything can happen. So just be careful out there, y'all. Don't be out there spending a ton of money on certain cards, certain fighters, because at the end of the day, they could lose. Eventually, they are going to lose, and their hype is going to be gone, and their prices are going to go down. This isn't like other sports. There's very few cards that will hold value forever unless they go on to be one of the greatest of all time, a John Jones, a Khabib, a Anderson Silva, one of the big names, Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz. People like this will always hold value. But, if your favorite fighter is, someone that's halfway up through the rankings, that's already kind of at the end of their career. If your favorite fighter is Kamaru Usman, do you think really that your cards at the end of the day are going to really have a ton of value? Should you really be putting thousands and thousands of dollars into your Kamaru Usman collection? Yeah, he was a champion, but I don't know if we look back in history and are like, man, the Kamaru Usman era was the best era of welterweight ever. I just don't know. So that being said, just be safe. Don't go all in. Enjoy this. This is a hobby. This isn't for investing. Please keep that in mind. Do not invest in UFC cards. This is a hobby. Do this for fun. And truly, if you want to know what fighters to buy, then you have to watch the fights. And if you aren't watching the fights, then I don't know why you would be buying these cards anyway, to be honest. Why would you buy this? If you're not watching the fights, why would you buy these cards? I have no idea. Like, you have no idea who anyone is. Why are you buying something that you don't know anything about? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So, in my opinion, you have to watch the fights. If you're watching these fights every single week, just like me, you're going to see who a few people are that you're like, oh shit, I can't wait until he gets a card. And then you'll know. You won't have to ask anyone, hey, who should I buy? You'll know, because you're going to be watching the fights and you're going to see right away, damn, that dude don't have a card yet. I cannot wait till he gets a card. Or you could be watching fights seeing a dude, win 3-4 fights in a row, start calling out the champion, knowing that there's not that many people there before him, maybe you should start buying his cards. Maybe buy a few up right there, because he's fighting for the championship soon. How many people could have made money on Bilal Muhammad cards? A lot of people probably, but how many people care about Bilal enough to go buy his cards, watch all of his fights, to know that he's going to beat Leo? It's hard to do, and it's speculation and it's, luck, to be honest. So, don't go all in, but know that there are places that you can make a couple dollars here and there in the hobby. But this hobby, but this sport is not for making money. You can, but it's very, very hard. The margins are so thin with any UFC product, as where with football, basketball, man, you could hit shit. I could hit a card and pay off my house. In football, fucking football or basketball. With UFC, it's just not going to happen. The return on value just isn't there. At least not yet. Maybe one day. But yeah, with that being said, you guys, I think that's all that I have planned. I will leave the floor open for any Q&A that you guys have. I've been here for exactly 2 hours. It's 10:30. I was here at 8:30, so I have went through. I've been on here for about 2 hours talking, talking about new people in UFC card collecting. So yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I didn't think I would be on here that long. I'm sure I skipped over a ton of comments, but it was a lot of just chit chat back and forth with you guys. We did have a troll in here saying he got a one-on-one shop card that he put on his refrigerator with a magnet, but it is what it is. But yeah, once again, I will leave the floor open. If you guys have any questions about UFC cards, feel free to drop them down, and then I will try to get to them. I'll see if I'll go back through here, and I will see if I missed anything. Yeah, that's when I was muted. All right. We got Omar saying, hope you guys had a good Labor Day. Indeed, I was off of work today. And then we got, is that saying like Flash versus Disco 1-of-1? Kind of. But Flash and Disco, in reality, the true black 1-of-1 would probably be worth the most. And then it would probably go to the Disco because it came out of a more expensive product. That's all it comes down to. So the black 1-of-1 comes out of hobby. The the Disco would have came out of H2, which would have been about half the price of hobby, and then the Flash 1-of-1 would have came from the Blaster, but would have only been $25 for the product. So, in my opinion, I think the true Black Prism would be worth the most, and then maybe the Disco and Flash. But then you start running into Concourse, Octagon side, or the what's the other one? Concourse, Premier Level, or the Octagon side. Like what I basically said earlier is if the Octagon Black has already sold, you're not going to sell the Premier Level Black 1-of-1 for more than what the Octagon sold, even though it is a 1-of-1 and it's a black 1-of-1. You can set the price. The price is kind of already set because one has already sold, a better one at that. So yeah, you kind of get what I'm saying for the most part. How much is my O'Malley Kaboom worth? No idea. 1-of-1 Vic. Yeah, absolutely nuts, Daniel. Absolutely nuts. Let's see what Parker Porter 1-of-1 isn't worth $6K. Hey, I mean, if you pull it, I don't know if anyone's going to pay that. Gotta fist the sleeve sometimes. Yeah. Thanks, Matt, for your time and effort on these videos. Only been collecting UFC cards for about 3 weeks. Hit a 1-of-1 chail from your recommended boxes. Thanks again. Keep up the good work. Hell yeah. That's what's up, Corey. Good shit, man. I'm glad you were able to do that. It makes me happy inside to know that you guys are able to hit 1-of-1s. That's what's up. Spread the good word, Matt. Hope there's an annual UFC trade event one day. We can all gather, sell, and trade. It would be fun. It would be fun, Matty Mac. Sounds like it'd be sick, but man, we are all over the place. We are all over the place. We had Benjamin saying, gotta finish my Anik Rainbow, finish the Sanko. Oh, that's what's up, Ben. You're almost there, brother. Almost there. You count a rainbow without the 1-of-1. You can count it with whatever you want, man. Like a lot of people do rainbows without the 1-of-1 because they know it's like, man, that's going to be so hard to even find, much less hit or buy, just even find. It's tough. It's tough. The old Topps rainbow used to be easier to collect, usually like base and 6 parallels. I do agree. I agree. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Like a lot of people think those like Mackenzie Dern's are like scratch and sniff patches, and they're not scratch and sniff. You guys are just disgusting. Yeah, absolutely nuts. Yeah, UFC, not the sport to make money. I'm not gonna pull that next one up. I can't do that. Yeah. So there's like a dozen freaking 1-of-1s. There's so many 1-of-1s. There always is. It is what it is. That's the day and age that we live in. That's the day and age that we live in. So that's going to be all from me here tonight, you guys. If you are new to UFC card collecting, hopefully I was able to help you out. Even if I didn't help you out a ton, at least I was able to help you out just a little bit. If you missed any parts of tonight's streams, feel free to go back. I'll probably put timestamps in this throughout the night sometime or throughout this upcoming week. But yeah, new UFC card collectors in 2024. I really hope this helps you guys out. Basically, just let you have all my information over the past 2 hours. This is a 2-hour live stream. So once again, I hope I was able to help you guys out. Gave you all of my history, where to buy, where to pre-order, protecting, storing, what cards look like, what you should be looking for. Yeah, all that good shit over the past 2 hours. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you haven't already, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button on this video. If you're not subscribed here on the channel yet, please subscribe. My name is Matt. This is the Golden Octagon. Yeah, and if you're interested in UFC fights, catch me back here Wednesday night for the Golden Octagon MMA podcast. Me and my guy D-Rose will be here breaking on the fights for this upcoming weekend. But until then, I will catch all of you guys later. Y'all be safe out there. Peace.